Grey crops.
We're both in grey crops. It wasn't
Not planned.
Hello, everybody.
Hi everyone.
This is a very serious video.
This is a calm, relaxing.
This video, I feel like it's really going to help ourselves, but hopefully it will help you. And we're going to film it for part of ourselves, so we can look. So we can look back and be like, because this is what I was going to tell you, right? So listen to this, guys. I really recommend you do this because I didn't get a bit tearful, but I was like, you got a bit tearful.
Listen, I'm going to get emotional. So basically, when I was 16, right, I wrote myself a letter and I literally opened it. I literally opened it like a few days ago and I was like, oh my God. And it was all... Don't cry! So I wrote another one and why am I getting emotional? I wrote another one and it was like, I wrote one like a few days ago. Yeah. And you know, I need to write one. You know, in the one, you're gonna die, you've got to read it. You know, the one when it was I was 16, yeah. It was all like, I was like, and basically it was all this stuff that I wrote all this stuff in this letter that now I'm like, oh my God, I've got everything that I wanted that I was writing in this letter. Like in this letter, I was listing all these things that like my goals and my hopes and my dreams. And I was like, oh my God, like now I've actually accomplished like so many of those things. And I'm like, you know what, I'm so glad I wrote that letter because it showed me how far you've actually come. And I was literally reading it like, oh my God, bless my soul.
That's defo manifestation.
Like, I wish I could give that girl a hug. I know,
because it's like, if you can think it, you can dream it, you can do it. And if you're really focused on something, you know, whatever it may be, personal life, career, whatever, if you're really focused on it, then it shows that
manifestation is real.
It is real when you're thinking positive about something.
And it's all about us and what we were going through and what we wanted, where we wanted to be. And I'm like, oh my God, like honestly, you've got to read it. But I really recommend that, guys. Like, if you write yourselves a letter now, even don't like open it like this time next year, or like if you're 18, maybe open it when you're 21. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or just open it, like, it doesn't have to be a certain time, but just write it and then you'll forget about it, and then in a few months or a year you'll be like, oh my God, you just find it in your room and you'll be like, oh my God, this is that letter, and read it, and it's really nice. And like, oh, it's really like calming to read, because you think, like, you write down things like I was saying, like, I'm so worried about like how am I going to do my A-levels, and I'm like, oh my God, that was like I've done that. Like, you know, I was there like, oh, I'm like waiting for my GCSE results, and you know, when it's like, oh my God, it's just funny to like read it back. It's really nice.
I'm gonna write one today.
Honestly, I wrote another one like where we are now, so I can't wait to read that again.
That's
this time next
such a good idea. Just so you can just see how far you've come,
like even like mentally, just reading it, like you know, like it's really good.
Right.
So we're gonna do this video is all about our.
This is all about, because I don't know, I feel as though this time last year we had less complications in life, didn't we? Because we've just realised that.
I kind of miss this time last year.
I do, because we were gap yearing it. We weren't stressing about.
We had no, I feel like this time last year we were really stress free. Yeah. And we don't have a lot of stress now, but we have,
don't get me wrong.
Like we
let the stresses consume us. That's what we have to sort out.
This video, before we get into it, this video is basically about us going into 2018 on our goals, our new mindset, you know. Hopefully you guys can get some inspiration from this, or you guys some advice, can share with us what your wisdom, so we can just all just get the same.
Because I feel as though, so we let minor stresses, which we probably are overthinking, consumers, and truly we get worked up. Like you may think we, like, honestly, behind the scenes,
you've got no idea. This is the real Sophia and Cinzia.
We're kind of a mess.
It's hard to, what the thing is with us, right? When we were at school, and when you are at school, I feel like all you're stressing about is like, I've got my exams, because for us at school, we weren't into boys. Like we didn't have any of those. When we were at school, we didn't have any boys stresses. Like we weren't, you know, some of those girls who were like getting in serious relationships at like 16. Like
never.
We weren't doing that. So the only stress we had at school was literally like schoolwork and like exam stress. Literally. And I remember being at school thinking, you know, I don't have these exams anymore. I'll be extremely happy every other single day of my life because I don't have to worry about this. I think we have to appreciate that we we're not having to worry about exam stress anymore and like school stress.
Yeah.
But now, because like we have lovely little lives, you know, we've got a great friendship, like we're very alive and well, like our family's all fine, like we've got very non-stressful lives.
So when there is a bit of stress now,
it's consuming.
It's all consuming, and it takes over my entire mind
and my entire
and
life.
It can ruin my day or whatever,
week, month.
Because that's all we'll be thinking about, and that's really unhealthy, when most of the time the stress isn't even, and it gets resolved and we get our answer and it's like, God, why the fuck was I worrying about that?
I think we, when I got back from my holiday, we both had a reunite, didn't we? What happens with me and Cinzia is, if we're like away from each other for like maybe a week.
Oh, we did. We were like, I felt so good that day.
Me too. That was my whole like,
because I'd had that stress.
Yeah, and I'd obviously had that. If we're away for a certain amount of time, like I'm gonna say like a week, whenever we reunite, we're like rejuvenated and we like talk about these things and we get really deep. And I think we both realised, we both kind of went through a similar thing, didn't we? And I think we both, I mean, it affected us both so much.
Because that's all we have to think about.
Because that was our only stress.
Because our work is no stress, family's no stress, and just like...
friendships, no stress.
We don't stress, because friendships, no stress. So then when there's one stress, it's our only stress.
It's our whole like life. And it may sound really like pathetic, because obviously people have a lot bigger issues than we do.
1,000,000%.
And they have, you know, bills to worry about, and you know,
exactly,
even just feeding a family.
Bills,
but we're just talking about ourselves here. We went through like a similar thing, I feel like, and then it consumed us so much, and I feel like we had a eureka moment where we were like, look, we can't be thinking like this anymore. Because the thing is, it's like, I think it's quite easy, because it was like to do with our relationship.
We overthink a lot, and I overthink to the point where I think of the worst in every situation. So I don't know why I'm getting all...
Oh my God! I don't know. Are you okay? I didn't realise. Just come on. I was getting too much.
What's wrong with me?
Calm. No, what happens is... Stay calm. I'll talk while you freshen yourself up.
I've got something really good to say.
Okay. This is what we hold in, guys. We hold this in and it all comes out.
Why am I crying? I was like, wait, you know, you almost cried in. I was like, what the fuck? She's tearing up. I'm tearing up. So, yeah, I do have a problem where I think the worst in every situation, but I think it's like a defense mechanism because I...
Oh my God. This is quite deep. I didn't realise what this video was going to involve.
Because it's a defense mechanism, because I don't want to get hurt. So it's like, I will think of the worst in every situation, just so I'm prepared.
If that does happen.
But then I'll let it consume me and think, right, that is happening, when it's just not at all. And it's not the case at all, and I'm just...
You guys can help us out with this. This is where me and Cinzia struggle, okay? Because a lot of the time, well, not a lot of the time, but it gets to moments where me and Cinzia will worry about our relationships, isn't it? Because we never had those like serious relationships at school. So for us, our relationships now, it's kind of like a first time experience, because we've got, you know, when something goes wrong and we're like, oh, maybe this is normal, maybe this is what happens, because we've got nothing to compare it to. We can't be like, oh, well, when I was at this point with Dylan, you know, things were, do you know what I mean? So when it gets to like relationships, obviously we love to give you guys advice, and we do give each other advice as well, obviously, but we struggle because it's like we don't have any, like, we do have past experiences to compare it to, but not to the same extent.
The thing is, I feel as though I had a really bad experience where someone just really just took me through the shit. And like took me through the shit, and then I trusted them again, and then did the same thing again. Me. So my trust in terms of just like letting myself fully, you know, because then I just have a fear that the same thing is going to happen to me when I had full trust in the other person. It's nothing about cheating or whatever, it's just like leaving me. Just like leaving me when I've given my whole heart, do you know what I mean?
I think it just stems from the fact that we're very like all or nothing type of people.
Oh, exactly.
Like
we're very loving.
Our friendship, it's all, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like at school we had a lot of like half-hearted friendships where it was like, yeah, like I can have a chat with you, I can have a talk to you about what clothes you're wearing, but I know when we leave sixth form or when we leave the school, we've got no, like, I'm not going to stay in touch with you, like we've got no real friendship here, which we didn't. And I feel like now we learned from all that, like being in all that environment, that now like we only wanted to have friendships and relationships that were like all or nothing.
Exactly.
And now we've got like a very small tight circle that I'm like, you're gonna be my wedding, like you're gonna be, I can't wait, like do you know what I mean? And I'd much rather, so I think then when it comes to relationships, we're very much the people that are like, if I'm with you, like I'm picturing our future, like we're together, do you know what I mean? Not like, we're not gonna get in a relationship or get to know someone if it's like half-assed, like, oh yeah, you're all right, like you'll do for the time being, like we're not like that. So then when we get involved with people, it's like it's an all or nothing type of thing.
So I'm very insecure about people leaving me. That's my biggest insecurity.
Because you get so invested, and then it's like, well, are you getting equally as invested as I am, or are you just seeing me as something which is going to be fine for now? Like, I feel like everyone has these worries though, and these, especially like girls, you know?
And then we're saying because that's our only stress, it consumes us.
Yeah. Like there was a stage where I was like, I cannot live like this. Like this is actually a problem. And I was like, I refuse.
Because and we really had to sort that out, didn't we?
Oh my god, I don't even want to think about it.
But it's just it's all about your mindset.
Yeah,
it really is.
What we're getting to is we both realised, because we both went through a similar thing at a similar time, and it was like, you know what? Everything else, apart from this thing, everything else in our life is good and happy and fine. But it was like, but just this like 20% was literally consuming our whole minds and our whole look on life and our whole like mindset and our attitude and whatever. And we realized that we were like, that small 20% wasn't
delivery.
Yeah,
where's it from?
I ordered things from ASOS. Because when things were going wrong with that small 20%, it wasn't even because of us. Exactly. We weren't the ones that were causing the issue, and that's when it's like it's even harder to fix, because you know, if obviously every way's a two-way street, but you know, if it's someone else that's got the issue and it's not really you that's causing the change,
then you can feel a bit helpless.
Yeah, you can feel a bit like, well, what am I supposed to do? Because you're the one that's changing, not me. You know, I was enjoying where things were.
Yeah. Okay.
So what am I getting to? Getting to the point where it sounds, I think we've realised that we really have to be like in charge of your own happiness.
Yeah,
and that is a lot. I feel like people think like, oh yeah, whatever, but I feel like that's actually a really hard thing to do. Like I feel like that's the most difficult thing to do.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Is to be like, you know what, I'm happy because I'm fine, like my life's lovely, like whatever, and just because my thing's not perfect with you right now does not mean I'm gonna let myself think my whole life's falling apart. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're gonna have struggles with any, like with with relationship between your family, your friends, like romantic relationship, but you have to try and not let it consume you all the time, because that's where it gets a bit like destructive and a bit like, oh my god, like you've got to think like, you know what, say if you are having problems like with a boyfriend or with a girlfriend, you've got to think, you know what, I'm going to deal with those problems when I see you and we chat and when I talk to you, but when I'm not with you, I'm not going to be dwelling on it and I'm not going to be thinking about it. And I think that's the difference. Like address the problem with the person you've got when you're with them, when you're in their company or when you're talking to them. But when you're not with them, don't let it consume you, and don't let it be like, oh my god, it's all I'm thinking about. I can't even get out of bed, like I'm so upset, like I don't even want to go to the gym because I can't even do anything, like I don't even want to film because I'm like, I can't put on a smile. Do you know what I mean? Like it's, so you have to try and think, you have to try and separate things and be like, look, I'm going to deal with that when I see you and when I talk to you, but when I'm not with you, I'm thinking
You're not
about
thinking
me.
about it. You're not thinking of the worst.
No.
Just be like, and even if you think of the worst, think, yeah, but that's the worst. And that's the worst, and that probably won't happen.
Because when we decided, we love to be like optimistic, silver linings, you know, all this lot.
But then when that started to then hurt us,
we were like, you know what, we need to try and be a bit more pessimistic. Only in the sense that we need to think, we need to prepare ourselves and kind of expect the worst, not in like a negative way, but just so that then we're prepared. And then it's like, you know what, if that happens, we're proven right, and we knew that was going to happen anyway. But if that doesn't happen, we're pleasantly surprised, and it's like, oh,
and then
great.
If the outcome is the worst of the outcome,
then prepared yourself.
But then
and you're like, you knew this was coming.
Also, it's like, well, if that then you don't have to stress about it anymore, and you don't need that in your life anymore, kind of thing, because it's like, well, what am I trying to say?
That's the worst that could happen.
Yeah, and it's happened, and now it's out of your life because you've got your answer, kind of thing. Main
goal for 2018 is to be more in charge of our own happiness, because when we look back at this video, right, which was New Year's Eve last year, and we were like, God, we were so happy.
At least wasn't stressing about anything like
and we are so happy now, of course we are, how could we not be?
Yeah,
but I feel like now
I just feel like our lives are more complicated now. That's all it is. And before they weren't as complicated.
They were more simple because it was just us two.
Yeah.
And it was like, right, we do what we want. But it's hard to explain.
It's very hard to explain. I hope you're catching our drift. But yeah, because I think, God, this time last year I was fucking
absolutely breezing it.
But also, like, I just didn't care. I didn't care.
And maybe we need to get back to that place, because I feel like now when we're like 24, we're going to be like, God, why were we stressing when we were 19 and 20?
I feel as though we've grown up a lot in this past year.
We have.
And I think that's what scared us. Like, I feel like a proper adult now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I really want to get my life sorted.
I watched the last video, videos last year, and I'm like, gosh, I feel like an entirely different person. Like, I feel as though kind of like, even the past few months, I feel like, oh my God.
Oh, me too. In the past 5 months, I feel like an entirely different person. Yeah. Things that just literally 5 months.
All gone down.
But just in terms of everything, like all aspects
of life.
In the past 5 months, everything has changed. And I look back and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this time last year, I was a child.
Like, I feel like 26.
Oh, like, I feel like
I love the fact that I'm 19, but I feel 26.
Yeah, we feel very much like we're ready to move out, like all this stuff. And we feel like we're really getting our lives together and sorted, and it's kind of scary but exciting. But then we're also, But I think in terms of 2018, these are our main bullet points. Focusing on ourselves. And so whether that's getting up and going to the gym and eating healthy that day, we'll think, God, I'm really treating myself well, and I'm not eating shit and feeling like shit. So when you eat like shit, you feel like shit, and it's a cycle. So making that effort to go to the gym, to spending time on yourself. If you can afford a massage, get a fucking massage. Because just that alone time is nice. And I think also I need to not be on my phone as much.
We need to spend more time together
doing
because
things.
We don't spend that much time together. Like, we do, but in reality the time we spend together is normally always filmed, or we're filming,
or
like
we're sorting things out,
like we barely, I feel like we never, well, we do, but we went to New York for a week. We rarely no, but I mean, like, of a normal week,
day to day,
like, we don't actually spend that much time together.
Just went to New York for a week together.
No, we
no, I agree.
And I feel like as well, like, really actually like living life just for yourself and not for other people, because I feel like especially when you get in relationships, you can find yourself being like, oh well, can't wait till Wednesday when I see them again. And it's like, well, no, what about Monday, Tuesday? What am I going to do for me? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's fine to have a relationship with someone, that's great, but don't forget about, you know, what you like to do, and then, like, enjoy your time when you're with them. When you're not with them, it's like, right, all about me now. What am I doing today? What am I going to do?
Don't stress about when you're going to next see them, because you'll see them again in a few days.
Happens, I think we need to spend more time together. Yeah, we need to spend less time.
This is a lifelong relationship. We have to nurture and keep.
Yeah, we need to spend less times on our phones.
I'm 1,000,000%. Do you know
we need to be more. Just more, really, honestly, trying to work on controlling our own happiness. I think that's really difficult.
I want to be the best version of myself, and I really, in 2018, I really want to know who I am.
Yeah.
I really want to feel the best best I've ever felt, and I really want to feel secure. I want to get stronger mentally. Do you know what I mean? I just want a more strong mentality outlook.
Because some girls are like, well then, if you're going to be like that, and I'm like, God, I wish I could do that.
I'm quite weak. Yeah, I'm quite sensitive soul. Yeah. I might not come across it, but I am. I'm a very sensitive soul.
Very sensitive soul.
I feel as though you're stronger. Oh no, she's not. She actually cries. She's crying. Look at what we're talking about. So we're very, like, we don't like confrontation. No. We don't like any of that. We can't. Like, I can't deal with it. Like,
we're delicate flowers. We may not seem it, but we're
delicate
very
petals. Like, if there's any type of conflict, I would just break down and just can't deal with it. So I want to become stronger mentally, just for the future, because I feel like that's just got to happen. I really want to grow as a person. I really just want to flourish.
And to flourish, we have to go through the bad times.
And I want to look back. What we're going to do is, we're going to look, oh my God, in a year's time, we're going to do a reacting to this video.
Yes.
Right? And we're going to see how much we've changed and
how much we've grown.
We're going to react to this video and you get future Cinzia. This is really tricky. Future Cinzia, I hope you're all right.
Same, Sophia. I hope everything's okay. I'm so curious.
But that would be really good, because I feel as though that's something we can work.
Like this time next year, like, are we going to be in the same, you know?
And whatever happens, we'll be like,
who's going to be in my life?
Whatever happens, we'll be like, God.
Sorry.
We died.
The camera died. So.
Where were we?
I don't know where we cut off.
But we're going to try and round
up.
Because I feel like we've probably, oh shit, we've been a bit rambly, but we're going to try and channel the situation in. So
at the end of the day, our goals for 2018 is to be more about us. Being more in charge of ourselves.
Yeah. Brilliant. 2018. Come at me!
Yeah, and I found this good quote the other day, and I kind of touched on it, I think, in another video, but obviously, like, you know, me and Cinzia sit here and give you all this advice, but it's this quote, and it basically says, do you know what, I'm actually going to find it. And it relates to us the same way, because it's basically saying, like, you have to go through it, so you're the one that should. Okay, so it says, do what you think is right, not what other people think is right. In the end, it's you who goes through it, not them. So it's basically saying, like, even in terms of like our boy talk, like me and Cinzia don't know your relationships. We don't know the people you're talking about. We don't know the ins and outs of what they've said to you and blah, blah, blah. So it's easier for us to sit here and be like, yeah, we think you should do this, do this, do this. But at the end of the day, you're the one. And even for us, like,
go with your gut.
I think, like, you can only speculate so much, and you can only take on so much advice from different people. At the end of the day, you're the only one that's going to have to live through that situation, and you're the only one that really knows. Say if it is about a boy, you're the only one that really knows that person like you do. So you should take into account the people's advice, but you've got to do what you want to do and what you think will be the right thing.
Listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. If you've got a gut feeling about something, just that you think, God, you know what, this isn't right, or just, you know what, this, I just don't know.
Or this is right, you know, people are telling me it's wrong, but I feel like this is right.
Yeah, then follow that, and I think trust your own trust your own instincts. I think that's really important as well.
And if you are feeling like completely like lost, like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, like, honestly, it sounds a bit silly, but you should really do like a pros and cons list. Because seriously, you can be like, okay, look, so every situation has at least 2 or more options or ways to respond to it. So you can be like, okay, so I'm either going to respond to it like this or like this, and then do, okay, if I do it like this, what's the pros and cons? If I do it like this, what's the pros and cons? And just weigh it out in your head. But you have to do what you think, you know what, I want, this is what I think's right, this is what I think's gonna have the best outcome. Because at the end of the day, if it does go wrong, or if it doesn't end up how you expected it, you can only really blame yourself, which I think is a good thing. Because say, for example, if I said to you, like, look, I'm having real relationship problems, and you said to me, break up with him, and I was like, you know what, Chin said I'm going to break up with him, I'm going to break up with him, and then I end up really missing him, regretting that I've broken up with him, I would have this hatred towards you, because I'd be like, oh, it's Cinzia's fault, she's the one told me to end it, you know. Whereas if you know, you feel like in yourself, you know what, I'm not happy, I want to end it, and then you end up regretting it, I think you can only then blame yourself, which I think is a good thing in terms of your relationship with other people. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, listen to what they have to say, take it into account, but just do what you think is the best course of action, because you're the one that's going to have to live through it, you're the one that's going to have to suffer the consequences, or you know, you know, have the, what's the word,
the repercussions. The
repercussions. You're the one that's going to have to deal with it, not the person who's giving you the advice. So you have to do what you think is the best. And I think that's a good mindset to have going into the new year.
1,000,000%. All right, well then on that note,
let us know what your goals are.
Yeah, please, because we're all about self-love now.
It's all about the mindset,
It's all about self-love this year. Self-love.
Mindset, being pure mindset, you know, free, happy mindset,
focusing on yourself. Whatever happens, and just
roll with the punches. And also another thing, which I know we're blabbling, but I think it's important that you really do have to not worry about things which haven't happened yet.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
I know everyone says like, oh, cross that bridge when you get to it, but seriously, like, cross that bridge when you get to it. Like, there is no benefit in worrying like, oh my gosh, what if this, what if this,
because then chances are the situation's going to be fine, and then you've wasted all that precious time, all that time just worrying. And worrying really is exhausting.
It's so draining.
So draining. It makes you emotional, weighs on your mind.
You really do have to think, you know what, if that happens, I'm going to deal with that and think about that when it happens.
And you're going to be okay.
Honestly, really do think about that, and really do try and cross the bridge when you get to it. It sounds so like a toss-off comment and like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. But seriously, it's a really good mindset to have. And equally with a relationship, if you're thinking like, oh my god, what if this might end, like what if this doesn't last like I want it to, if it doesn't last, you're gonna have to cross that bridge when you break up and it gets to that point. And then you've got to remember, anyway, it wasn't meant to be, and then you can move on, heal, etc. It's all about being zen, living for yourself, self-love.
Namaste. And on that note, we hope you've enjoyed our
little video
2018
today.
Mindset video. Got
Sophia and Cinzia, when you're watching this, I'll be 20, you'll be 21.
I'll be 20.
Will we have travelled to different places?
Hopefully.
Side note, we'd love to go skiing in the new year, so if anyone's got any good ski recommendations, please hit us up.
Reasonable, yet nice.
Reasonable, yeah, because we've only ever been on a ski trip with school. And we've only ever been told where to go and blah, blah, blah.
Like, we were like 16, like we couldn't do proper après-ski stuff. So we're quite into that.
If you guys are skiers and you've got a good destination, let us know where to go.
Or even a hotel or something,
yeah,
you know,
anything, because we're a bit lost.
But yeah, thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
I hope you all have a fantastic new year.
Me too.
Is this our last? Oh no, it's not.
No, it's not.
I was going to say this is the last video of 2017, but it's not. That will be the whole Boxing Day haul.
Boxing Day, get ready, sorry.
Ooh, goodbye.
So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the Christmas season.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're all doing well.
Me too.
I
hope you are as well.
You're just, you know, because we care about you a lot, and I hope that
everything's swell. And if it's not,
it will be swell.
Just
yeah. Okay. Lots of
But let's all try and go into the new year with clean, happy mindsets.
I'm actually excited.
I think we all need to think about ourselves a bit more, because I think sometimes, just think about yourselves a bit more. More self-love.
Yeah.
And on that note,
kiss kiss to my little baby fishies.
We'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Love you.